of the liftoff. Ignition. Now we can see that for the Long March 7 carrier rocket has been ignited and also has carried the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. And also for the 3 technonauts in the space station, they also closely monitor the situation of the launch of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. And also we are hearing some of the report from the Aerospace Control Center. We can see that for all the parameters, it's normal. So we have a very special procedures. That is the procedure turning of the carrier rocket. The most important part is to send all of some of the cargo spacecraft into the preset orbit. So we have to ensure that the speed of the carrier rocket, so when the carrier rocket is lifting, it has to turn in a programmed maneuver. So with this maneuver and the turn, it can satisfy our needs and the requirements for the speed. So actually, for the trajectory of the carrier rocket, it does not follow a straight line. During the maneuvering, the carrier rocket will change its position, and in the end, it can send the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft into the preset orbit. So now we are seeing that this is the core part of the carrier rocket. So from this area, we can see the separation of the boosters. So I can see one detail with the change of the location of the carrier rocket. All right, now you can see the separation of the boosters. So for the Long March 7 carrier rocket, now you can see for the booster separation is very fast. Now it is the second tier of the rocket will take over the work. So for the 7th tier of the rocket, you have like 4 engines. Now it is the separation of the fairing. So right now for the carrier rocket already coming to the 110 kilometers into the atmosphere. In the atmosphere, when we are having this fairing, it can help us to protect the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. So on the left side, it is some of the real-time footage from the spacecraft. So actually, from the left side, it seems like a still picture, but still, it is actually like rising in a very fast speed. So right now, the second tier of the carrier rocket is actually carrying the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft, continue to accelerating. and head to the preset orbit. So on the right side, now you can see inside of the Tianzhou module, and now we have like the 3 technonauts. They follow closely about the launch of the Long March 7 cargo rocket. So for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft, it will carry 6.2 tons of the uplink cargo, and also it will bring in some of the daily necessities to support the technonauts' daily life, and also they will bring in some of the scientific samples into the space. So according to the latest information, the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft currently the world's most capable active cargo spacecraft in terms of the cargo transport capacity and the comprehensive in-orbit support capability. So this also poses a lot of challenge for the capability of the Long March 7 cargo rocket. As we all talk about that, for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft will be docked with the China space station. So for the Long March 7 cargo rocket, you have to follow a very precise orbit. So in order to ensure the precision, so at the front end, when we are designing the carrier rocket, the Long March 7, so we have done a lot of homework. And first of all, we have improved some of the technical parameters. And also we have a very advanced technology to design the carrier rocket. And also we are also using the Beidou 3 navigation system equipped inside of the carrier rocket. It can help us to better monitor the speed of the carrier rocket and also to ensure the precision of the carrier rocket. So that is from the navigation aspect. And also for the Long March 7 carrier rocket, in order to improve the payload efficiency, and later on, actually you can see it. As I just mentioned, that we have like 4 engines equipped with the Long March 7 carrier rocket. So we will turn off the 2 engines first, and then we will continue to use the other 2 engines to propel the carrier rocket. We want to save some of the energies for the operation of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. So with our plan, it can help us to ensure the accuracy of the trajectory of the operation of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. And pretty soon we are about to turn off the second stage engine. As I just mentioned that for the second stage engine, we have like 4 engines altogether. For the 2 engines, also at the beginning stage, it will give more the propelling. And for the 2 Henning engines, it will ensure the location and also the precision of the altitude of the carrier rocket. And this can also help to balance the carrier rocket inside the orbit. This can ensure the stability of the flight of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. And also we can adjust the position of the carrier rocket according to our needs, so as to send the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft into the preset orbit. Now we can see the 3 technonauts, they follow closely about the live coverage of the launch of the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. Because for the CSS, they are waiting for the new member, the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft, into their home. And actually, they are seeing the same footages with us. So right now, you can see we have a very advanced communication advantages. Now we hear the announcement that is the turn off of the second stage engine. So now the gimbal engines has been turned off as well. Now it is the separation of the spacecraft and the carrier rocket. With the separation of the cargo spacecraft and the carrier rocket, now you can see the cargo spacecraft has been sent into the orbit. Now we are waiting for the unfolding of the solar panel. Thank you very much for your explanation. Back to the studio. All right, thank you very much for your introduction. Right now, we are continue our live coverage. Now we are follow the launch of the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft launch and also the Long March 7 carrier rocket. So the ignition is at the time of 8:13 a.m. this morning. So right now you can see some of the footages from the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. We have seen just the separation of the carrier rocket and the cargo spacecraft. So the Long March 7 carrier rocket has completed its work. Now we are waiting for the unfolding of the solar panel. So we are waiting for more information from the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. So for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft, after it enters into the orbit, it will have a 3-hour docking with the space station. That is a 3-hour plan. So why we want to achieve the 3-hour faster rendezvous and the docking? So after this separation, we have to adjust the orbit to make sure that the cargo spacecraft can come close to the space station. So just like the two athletes, they are running on the same track. So first of all, we have to make sure that the cargo spacecraft can be docked precisely to the docking space that has been set in the China space station. So precision is the key. And then we would like to reduce the docking time so that we can save some of the energy. So right now for the Tianzhou cargo spacecraft, we have testing different hours. And actually for the Tianzhou 5 cargo spacecraft, the docking can be completed within 2 hours, which is the fastest in the world. However, we think that for the Tianzhou 10, considering the complexity of the payload, now we would like to choose the plan, the 3-hour plan. So for the 3-hour plan, it's much more effective compared to the 6-hour plan. And also we can ensure the safety of the docking of the cargo spacecraft to the space station. So right now we are continue to follow the mission of the launch of the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. And just now we are seeing that the solar panel has been successfully unfolded. That means that the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft are entering into the autonomous operation. Now you can see it is quite soft and quite light for the solar panel, just like a badminton bat. So for such a solar panel, you can see it can absorb enough energy to help with the following work for the cargo spacecraft. So right now you can see that for the 3 tachonauts, they are looking forward to receiving the new member, the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. So for the cargo spacecraft, they will bring in more supplies into the space station. Because this time we all know that for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft, that they will bring in more propellant and also they will bring in special payload equipment such as the new extravehicular spacesuit, and also it will bring in some of the fresh fruits, and also they will bring in some of the meat, the stick and the wings, and also it will help to improve the convenience and also the comfort for the tachonauts. Now, from the left side, we can see Tianzhou 10, the cargo spacecraft, is actually entering into the preset orbit. So we will say that this morning everything is on track. So we are waiting for the last minute and also the announcement of the successful launch of the mission. So after the separation of the carrier rocket and the spacecraft, now you can see that for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft is coming near to the China space station. And this time we are choosing the 3-hour plan. In the past, we are testing like different plans. And we test the 6.5-hour plan, but for Tianzhou 5, it complete the faster rendezvous and the docking within like 2 hours. But we still think that in terms of the reliability and the security, a 3-hour plan is more effective and reliable. So this time we are also using the 3-hour plan. So about at the noon time, we will say that for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft will be successfully docked with the China space station. So right now you can see that the solar panel has been unfolded. So this time, for the cargo spacecraft, actually like carrying like the 6 key payloads, and the total weight is over 280 kilograms. And this will help us to do some of the liquid physics and also a lot of the scientific experiments in the space. As we just mentioned, in the Tianzhou 5 cargo spacecraft, it completed the fast rendezvous and the docking within 2 hours. However, considering all the factors, we think that 3 hours is more steady for us. So now we are coming back to the launch center, and also one of the experts and the leaders will make the announcement. Dear leaders, experts, comrades, according to the flight data and the report from the Long March 7 carrier rocket, as well as the information from the Beijing Aerospace Control Center, the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft has been sent into the preset orbit. The solar panel has been unfolded and is functioning well. Now I declare the launch mission is a complete success. Thank you. Alright, once again, we are seeing the red screen, so we are seeing that we have a very successful launch of the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. Now we would like to review the whole ignition procedures of the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. Dear viewers, this morning the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft launch mission has been a success. At about noon, so for the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft that will be docked with the China space station, and also the Shenzhou 21 crew will also receive the latest cargo. Please stay tuned with us. We will bring you the latest. So this is some of the review of the launch missions. Now you can see that for the Long March 7 carrier rocket has been sent Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft. Now you can see the ignition has been completed, and also we will follow the conditions of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. Now we are hearing some of the reports, and we can see that for some of the parameters has been running normal, and also we are just like going through some of the program turning of the Long March 7 carrier rocket. So when the rocket is rising, the most important thing is to send out of all of these like payload into the preset orbit. That is to send the Tianzhou 10, the cargo spacecraft, into the preset orbit. That means that we have to ensure that the speed and during the rising of the carrier rocket, so it have to follow the design of the orbit, and also in a certain precision, it have to make the turns. With the programmed turn, it can meet the requirements of the speed. So actually for the carrier rocket, it will not follow a straight trajectory. So it has been accelerating, and also you have to change the position of the carrier rocket. So when it changes its location, it will change its speed, and then it can send the Tianzhou 10 cargo spacecraft into the preset orbit.